Hello world, hello YouTube land, happy Monday, how you all doing out there? Hopefully 6 people who watch my videos regularly, and 6 might be a high number. Got another one for you. This is going to be a review of Star Wars, Darth Vader and the Ghost Prison. Very quick review really, because I want you to buy the comic yourself. I really got a lot out of this, really enjoyed it. I'll briefly sketch the plot. All you need to know is that it begins just after the third movie. The movie when Darth Vader lost all his mystique and went no. It's just after that really. The plot is set in a cadets academy, and there's at the beginning it's seen through the actually throughout the entire narrative really. It's seen through the point of view of a guy called Larissa Thomas, a young cadet, and we automatically feel a lot of sympathy for him, even though he's an Imperial cadet. Because he's deformed, half his face is all messed up, and he's got a limp arm as well. So you automatically feel a bit of sympathy for that sort of person, really, don't you? Because he's got the odds against him already. Anyway, while this guy's in the academy, passing out, I think that's what they call it in the army, isn't it? Getting his badges and whatnot. A coup happens. The coup's been run by they call him the headmaster of the academy, Headmaster Gentis. So Headmaster Gentis has seen the Emperor causing too much death and destruction and wants to get rid of him. A bit like the generals in the Nazi Party actually during World War II, who saw what Hitler was up to, who saw that he was an absolute lunatic, saw the death and destruction that followed him and wants to get rid of Hitler. So it's the same thing happening really in the world of Star Wars, with this Headmaster Gentis trying to get rid of the Emperor. He actually poisons the Emperor. The only reason the Emperor doesn't die is because he's strong with the Force. He's got the Force powers. Darth Vader needs to find some way of getting medical attention for the Emperor, and that's where the Ghost Prison comes into it. The Ghost Prison is the only place where that Vader can take the Emperor, where he knows that the Emperor will be safe. We have really good panels in this comic where we see holograms of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda and the old Jedi's. That was really cool. What we learned though is that the Ghost Prison is a Jedi-ran prison. It's a secret prison. It's a Guantanamo Bay type prison. So it's quite interesting to see that in the world of Star Wars. And just like in the real world, where the Americans can't justify it, 'cause it's far too bloody dodgy and it's got MK Ultra style, mind reprogramming going on there, and they can't justify it. In Star Wars universe, their justifications for it are a bit weak as well, really. And this is Yoda justifying the secret prison. When this conflict ends, bring these criminals to trial, we will. So, sounds like the real world, doesn't it? The conflict will never end, of course, because how can you beat terror? It's not like terror can surrender. Terror can't surrender. Let the war go on forever and ever, just like Orwell said in 1984. But anyway, back to Star Wars. Yeah, Darth Vader takes the Emperor to this Guantanamo Bay, this Ghost Prison. He releases a lot of the dangerous criminals there. The dangerous criminals join Darth Vader. They go back to this cadet academy, and there's a final confrontation between the violent criminals working with Darth Vader. Darth Vader's basically said, if you help me out, I'll free you. Can you trust Darth Vader? Yeah, he said, join me, and I'll give you your freedom. And so you've got the Darth Vader with these criminals fighting against the Headmaster Gentis and his coup against the Emperor. What happens? You can probably guess what happens. I won't actually say it in this review, because I want you to buy the book. What I will say though is that it's a really worthwhile book. Why is it a worthwhile book? The themes really. There are themes about ambition, and if that's all you have in your life is ambition, how far is that going to take you? And what is it going to? What is your ultimate destination? If that's all that motivates you in life, really. And it's a story about ruefulness as well. If you're prepared to stab anybody else in the back, what's going to happen to your own back? And I've just written this down here. Evil is evil. That is all. As I finished this book, as I closed the final page, that was the thought that was going through my head. Evil is evil. That is all. You cannot join evil. So you might think that you can join evil, but can you? No, I would suggest not. And I'd also suggest that you pick up this book, because it's really bloody good. And I got a lot out of this. Of course, it's heavily confused about the Jedi Knights set in that Guantanamo Bay, because that doesn't really make any sense if you think about it. So I can't give it a top 10 out of 10 rating, but I'll give it a strong 9 out of 10 rating. I got a lot out of it. It's very enjoyable. The art, I didn't mention the art, do I? A lot of my reviews I didn't mention the art. The art was very enjoyable as well. Oftentimes in books you have dodgy panels and some really good panels, and a lot of times they can really disguise their dodgy stuff by putting a really good, like a splash page of an action scene or anything. But in this book, a lot of the panels are actually quite big, really. So there's no room for hiding your dodgy panels. I got a lot, I've got a lot of respect for the artist here. Really, he was saying, "This is my art. I'm not hiding," and it's pretty good. What's his name? I'll give his own name in this review. Agustin Alessio. Yeah, he's a pretty decent artist. And the writer, Haden Blackman, not bad himself, apart from his Guantanamo confusion, which is perfectly understandable, because it doesn't really make any sense in the real world either. So, Star Wars, Darth Vader and Ghost Prison from Dark Horse Comics. A pretty strong 9 out of 10 for me. I'd give it a thumbs up. Check it out, it's really good. Okay, see ya.